Hey everybody, this is Mr. Hardcore Mode where nothing's easy, here to bring another hard rant for you on basically what's been going on Twitter. My boy Wolfheart FPS, he has gotten an early copy of, well, not an early copy, he actually went to an event to go play Dragon Age the Veilguard for the first time for 7 hours. He played the game, and he had some good points and some bad points. Some of the bad points were actually pretty true to what I was saying, with the game is no longer a CRPG, which we all were dying for, and we all love Origins. The game has a mobile-esque game. Like, we know that this game was naturally going to be a multiplayer game. And another thing, like, well, the art style as well. The art style. We none of us like the art style. Hell, even Maddie Plays, the new Access Media doesn't even like the new art style. So he said all those things, and lo and behold, he wasn't able to get any early access, and some people were, some people did. Now, some people that were positive over Dragon Age the Veilguard also didn't get an early access, but this is how Access Media does things. They like to make sure that the people that are not only good little boys and girls, but they also have a big following. Hell, it doesn't even need to be a big following. We just need yes men and women. That's all that matters, which is kind of, at the same time, you'll lose. It seems like they're focused more on the investors than the gamers, because gamers really do look at these outlets like Wolfheart. People even look at Luke Stevens. People look at, like, all these different types of people. People look at, I believe, what's his name? Skillup is getting a review. People also look at Skillup. Skillup has a big following. He's getting a review. I didn't think Fextra Life is not getting a review. No, I think he is. I don't remember. I think Fextra Life is. Can somebody confirm that in chat? Let me know. But that's a big one, because Fextra Life really focuses on games. I think Eric's is gonna get a one, because Eric's likes anything. They don't really follow the culture war like most of us do. And by the way, there's a lot of people out there that are just like, the culture war. Just because we disagree with you doesn't mean we're less of a gamer or less of a person. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. When we notice that things are wrong and there's a continued pattern with something, we like to vote with what? Our wallets. So, Wolfheart had something to say about it. He said, Wolfheart, 3 creators, myself included, were a bit more critical than others with our hands-on time with Dragon Age the Veilguard. Not a single one of us will be getting a review code with time to actually give opinions before release. Just thought I would throw that out there. He just wants to put out his 2 cents. By the way, the reason why I take pictures of, like, Twitter, like, stuff is because sometimes people like to delete shit. So I'm done with that shit. So I take snippets of everything that is kind of important, especially when I'm speaking in the, conversation. And one person that was actually very nice about the whole thing was Kala Elizabeth, another YouTuber, who was saying that there's also positive people that also didn't get a copy of it as well. And that's true. She's right. But it's kind of weird that BioWare does a narrow focal point, like, to where things start to become echo chambers, and only you start to notice that anybody that has an early copy is going to be positive about it. So there's going to be 9s, there's going to be 10s, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10s. Now that you've shown us your hand, anytime that we see a positive review, or any review at all, we're going to go off of that. Because now that you've focused on just people that are straight up positive, we can't trust you now. See, it would be a lot easier if you just give it out to the people that you originally gave it to. I mean, you trusted them before, but now, since you saw the reviews and the embargo lifted, then you chose, okay, let's narrow the line to these set people because, you know, they'll suck our dicks. That's just how it is. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. But Wolfheart is a really nice dude. He wants to put out his 2 cents. That makes sense. A lot of us noticed that it was really, really odd about the whole thing. Now here is a person named Hagatha Christie. I'm gonna let you know. As soon as I saw the name Hagatha, I was like, man, it's a millennial Karen. Anyway, she said, related to what Wolfheart said, he said he did his research, but I don't think he did. He did do his research. He literally went and played the game where the BioWare event went, and then he played the game, and that was his 2 cents. And then he spoke on it. I don't know what you're saying, Hagatha. He also has played the previous games and read the books. I don't know what you're saying. Plenty of stuff on why that is out there now, so no need to repeat. But he knew exactly what kind of environment he was throwing this into. He knows. But he's still going to speak. It's his right to speak his mind on the subject when it comes to review codes. It sucks that because I look up to Wolfheart, man. He gives off some. He speaks his mind on what he sees in a game, including Neon Knight, who also didn't get a review code. But you know that he also speaks his mind on it. He is well-known creator and very aware of what it is to be public facing. He knows. I don't know who you are, Hagatha, but you're saying things that we already know. If you didn't want to engage in a culture war, consider not making inflammatory posts. What are you talking about? He spoke his mind. He said he didn't like it. He also doesn't want to deal with the whole culture war. He doesn't take sides. He wanted to focus on the game and the game only. And what he saw with the game was, and that was his true voice. Because in the end, it didn't have to do with being critical. It did have to do with being critical. That was the very thing. If you're critical about a game, depending on the developer, they will axe you out of the review code or they won't. Some of them, bless their hearts, like indie devs and like AA devs, they just let people that were negative about it, they will let you try it out and then say, oh shit. Like, you ever see a video where they're negative about the game and then they get another review and they're like, oh man, they fixed the things that they said they were going to fix. This game is way better, guys, way better. That's the kind of shit that we want, but we didn't get that. Now, did we? Instead, it read as entitled. No, it didn't. That was in your own mind. It didn't read as entitled at all. That is in your head, Hagatha. Also, your name also is tied to Emmerich's Face Warmer. That is literally a character in Veilguard. So not only are you a pervert, but you're a shill. Okay. Listen, I'm not going to, I'm not going to dive into your personal life, but good Lord, woman, can you just hold on? Okay. Now you've shown your hand. Like, he said something negative about BioWare, then you come over and attack him, and then we see what you have on your name, and it's Emmerich's Face Warmer. You're not only a pervert, which I'm okay with pervert, but you're also a shill? Like, come on now, hun. You can't be doing that. Let a person have their opinion. Let them. That's just how it is. You saw this in your feed, and you just said, you know what? I'm going to be a fucking bitch. That's what I'm going to do. This is what I want to do today. But you ended up getting a boost from people who will run with it. That he said what he said. If other people are going to get a boost from it, it's fine. Aren't you also getting a boost from this tweet? You're getting a boost from this tweet, right? You're getting face war, aka shill thirsty as hell. Yes, absolutely. But you ended up getting a boost from the people who will run with it when they see blood in the water. What is so you're already stating that it is blood in the water. So you proving, in fact, that it is blood in the water. Now that heightens yourself to be emotional, come to him and then berate him. See, I don't follow that shit. Listen, if somebody likes the game, cool. If somebody doesn't like the game, cool. I don't come over to be people and be like, well, you should have liked the game. That's your own fault. This is what you get. See, this is what toxic masculinity. No, I don't follow that. Here's a little bit more. Here's some more. Final thoughts. There is a difference between critical and critiques and accusations that are baseless. What are you talking about, Hagatha? He has played the game and he has seen the game and I don't know what you're talking about. Baseless. This is your own emotions. I know emotions. And you're not saying anything that makes sense. You're just saying words now. It's like, oh, they're baseless. Baseless how? How? You have to line these things up. Wolfheart is nice. He's going to be nice all the way through. Me? I see somebody attacking my friend for the wrong reasons. I'm going to call you out on that shit. I'm sorry. I'm going to make a video on that shit. I want critical and honest reviews, but this post didn't feel very honest. What are you talking about? He was literally honest. He's like, this doesn't seem right. He said, this doesn't seem right. I don't know what's going on, but and he also said, I'm not obligated to get a review code. He's also said that, but to her, it seems like her dog just got killed. It was a minimum entitled and petty if codes are hard to get. Maybe that's why. No, hun. Anybody can get codes. They chose this is the thing here. Because you need to realize what exactly happens when it comes to AAA developers and bigwigs like EA. This is the kind of shit that they pull off. See, we could have a discussion about why they do what they do. But we want to talk about a gentleman who has a YouTube channel who's saying this is kind of awkward because because if you're the perfect person for the job to give actual good criticism to the game, why did you bring them over? That's the big thing. Why did you bring him over clear across the world and say, hey, I got some critical opinions that could benefit from your game? And also, at the same time, the game was literally about to come out in like 2 months when they went to that little event, 2 months or 3 months. So I don't know why they brought them out there. Well, I do know. They brought them out there, and it would make sense to do a sort of a beta for these sort of games, like a year in advance before the game comes out. That way the developers can do changes. But they did this whole 2 month, 3 month thing before the game's about to come out. They bring people over, ship them over, and then they play the game. And then people are just like, oh man, I really like BioWare, but this thing needs to be fixed. And then developers are just looking at you like, bro, we're already gold. So, we're not changing shit. We just brought you over so you can be, our little puppets and go, yeah. The game's great. But, if you don't like the game, what? Did you say you didn't like Balara? You think she's annoying? We're going to have to cut you out, bruh. We're going to have to cut you out. I think that's why Luke couldn't get a code as well. We're going to have to cut you out, bruh. Gonna have to cut you out. Why did you think we brought you over 2 months before the game was about to come out? We didn't come here for constructive criticism. We came here to get whales. We need whales. We need you to be the bait to bring the fish in. That's why. It's like, sorry you feel that way, Hagatha. Anything negative or positive about this game, though, unfortunately, tends to throw you on one side or the other. Whether you agree or disagree, though, at the end of the day, my comment was about the subject matter of marketing strategies. Basically, he's just being really nice, and he's just saying, hey, I've noticed that, like, if you make a video game, chat, what do? You give it out to people that are really into, I guess, RPGs or whatever sort of game you're making. And then you bring it out to them early, not 2 months before the game fucking comes out. And then they say what they gotta say, and you say, oh, okay, that's some good community feedback. We'll work on that. You know, like Larian Studios, the game that actually was really, really good, and it lasted 6 years to make, and it's a banger, and people are still playing now. But this game literally took 10 years to make, and the developers obviously don't know how to design characters, design worlds, design a lore, and scars, top surgery scars. Yeah, 10 years, and don't know how to make a fucking game. I mean, we gotta start putting pieces together, and if we start ignoring the pieces, well, then we get Hagatha, the hag, and this is what she's saying. I'm really not about the both sides thing. Yes, you fucking are, bitch. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are definitely against any gamers that might have an opinion. You are definitely. Let me guess. You're gonna. There it is. There it is. I didn't. Catering to transphobes, bigots, misogynists, anybody that says these three things, throw them out the fucking window. Because these people aren't smart. Okay? These people got brain rot. They see a person with orange skin and blonde hair, and they think they're about to die. I cannot. I think. After this comment that she left, Wolfheart just left the conversation. Wolfheart was just like, you know what? Fuck this bitch. And he probably went out to go fishing or be with his family or something. Because even a little is just saying that's welcome in your space. That is crazy, psychotic bullshit that you just said. I never said you needed to like the game. Chat, do you believe that? Do you believe that for a second? Come on. Look at me. Do you believe that that's what she's saying? Because right now she's trying to paint a pretty picture on her face to act like she's a good person. Come on now. I never suggested you being critical was a bad thing. But the issue is the way you throw out all that fucking shit you just said. It's right there. I never said you needed to like the game. I never suggested you being critical was a bad thing, but throw that whole shit out the way. Anybody ever have an ex and they're just like, it's not that you were too nice, but get this bitch out of here. Get out of here. Now, one person was actually pretty nice and critical about what she just said. This person, did you watch his review? It's very balanced, and lots of old school BioWare gamers agree with him. And then she said, I think you have missed the entire point, Bree. Maybe go read back a bit. This hoe is on a whole nother level. The issue was never the review, but the accusations that were proven false. But he doubled down regardless. That's because he had nothing else to say. He said, listen, I'm talking about the marketing. And then she was like, well, no, bitch. What? It's just a man having an opinion and he noticed something and that's what he wanted to say. I stated pretty plainly what my position was. Yes, you did. You stated, and I quote, that you're fucking crazy, you're a pervert, and you're a shill. Those are the three things that you said. I heard that whole thing that you just said, and I'm just watching. I'm watching you in like live. I was working, and I was watching it live, and I was just thinking to myself, wow, I wonder if she's gonna stop being a complete bitch. And she kept going. So this is what I said. Because I know she probably blocked me after this shit. Okay. Listen, I don't trust your words because, one, you come off as being a bitch through this whole conversation over a man who not only is speaking his mind on a game, but you are also an obvious pervert shill for BioWare with the name Emmerich's Face Warmer. Let's just be honest, that's literally what's on your name. I had to tell her. I had to tell her. And as soon as I dropped that shit down, I said to myself, she's gonna block me. And so I took a picture of this whole damn thing before it left. I even reposted the shit. I was just like, she crazy. Yeah. Get this one. She crazy. See, I don't like that. I don't like that shit when people just come over here and then they pretend that they're like a positive, like smart human being, and then they just come off as just a snake through the whole entire conversation. And then they try to whittle their way around the conversation like, oh, I wasn't trying to be. Shut up, ho. That's exactly what you were doing. We gotta stop this bullshit. The man had some constructive feedback that actually like opened people's eyes. And like, I mean, to be honest, Wolfheart didn't even need to say any of this. Let's be real. Wolfheart didn't need to say any of this because we know how Access Media does. All right? Against Wolfheart, no less. Exactly, neutrality. Against Wolfheart. Like, honestly, him? I'm the asshole. Wolfheart's just the guy that's just like, hey, man, I'm I'm not too much of an internet guy. But yeah, that's all I gotta say in the matter. I would really like it if people would stop smoking and sniffing crack. And then, you know, I know that November 5th is right around the corner and people are ready to go crazy, and they just need to relax the fuck out. It's a video game, but at the same time, it's literally culture. This is literally culture. I mean, we could say it's just a video game, but at the same time, it's culture, and people actually appreciate the culture that was good. And we feel like we're kind of, you know, sort of left out of the culture now. So if we feel like this, and then we feel like we're encroaching on your Veilguard experience, no, we're not, bitch. Just play the game. Cut off your titties and play the game. We don't care. Anyway, let's play some video games.